because you could superimpose a signal on the grid as well, you know, and probably get a slightly different sound. Yeah. So there are a lot of cool variations on that, and that's, you know, something that I don't know that anybody has really investigated, or if they have, maybe they haven't even reported on it. They're using it to build their amp as opposed to inform the masses. But yeah, this is the standard. The Vibro Champ is a very popular amp, kind of highly desired. They've gotten to the point where, they're a beginner amp, but they sell for a good amount of money on eBay. And the difference between a Champ and a Princeton isn't that much, in dollars, maybe $100, even though they were large class distinctions when they came out. And they're actually really useful recording. Supposedly, all of the Derek and the Dominoes album, Layla, was done with that was with a tweed champ. See, the way the Fenders are is they're often specified by their cosmetics, and the prices vary with cosmetics. So this is what's called the silver face champ, because it's silver and it's a black or a blue outline. You'll also find there's one called a Bronco, which looks the same, but instead of blue, it's red writing, and it's the same circuit as a Vibro Champ. It was just, I think, sold mail order, whereas the Vibro Champ is sold
so people can tell how you get it.
Yeah, but it's identical, and I don't know if prices on the Bronco are different than the Vibro Champ at this point or not. But you go back to the era before this was called blackface, and they actually went back to that in the 80s. But really, when you say blackface, people assume you mean prior to 68. 68 is when they converted to silver face. And blackface is black with white lettering. And for a lot of the schematics, they changed values. Like a lot of the amplifiers, they changed different caps. And for the most part, they changed quality, because the silver face was when CBS bought Fender. So when the big corporation bought the Fender company, so things cost cutting measures were enacted. But some changes were made, and a lot of people talk about black facing their silver face. So they say, you'll see it in an ad, this amp was black face. And that usually means they went back to different values. But I believe, as I understand it, that the Vibro Champ and the Champs from black face to silver face actually didn't change the schematic, but the black face is still worth a lot more, like $100 more. When you get back to the tweed stuff, and like I said, again, I believe Layla was recorded with a tweed one, then they changed. I think at one point they had a single tone control, and before that they had no tone control. And those amps, although you're talking, late 50s amplifiers that were sold for beginners, they're, $800,000 amplifiers at this point, for just a small, simple beginner amp. Whereas the later ones, the black faces, at least before the current economic crisis, were, in the more $500 range, and easy with like the 3 to 4 range. But there are extremes at both ends. Okay, but that's the basics. We'll continue looking at schematics and elements next week. We'll see if I'm feeling ambitious. Maybe I'll bring in a different tube amp. Something with a different character. I've got a Mesa Boogie that is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. It's high gain, master volume, 2-channel, graphic equalizer, and reverb. So it provides a nice comparison to this. I just couldn't stuff them both in.
What is it?
It's the 50 caliber plus.
Oh, cool.
So it's one of their lower end amps. It's not the Mark series, but it's not a bad amp.
I don't think Mesa is really going to get too bad.